And if you ever click out for whatever reason, if it buffers or something, just click back into that same link. Give me a second to share. I gotta get my sound off. And if you ever Okay, this one's supposed to happen. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to get that volume off of there. And I did put your Facebook page into the caption at the bottom, okay. So they'll be able to follow you as well. Hey guys, I'm not sure who's on. Hello, hello. If you see from the caption, I'm not sure if you see it. So we are talking about depositing into your partner. We're going to speak on creating boundaries, all that good stuff. Those who've been on here, you kind of know the routine. Use our guest, ask her questions, dig her with as many questions as you can. That's what she's here for. Pick her brain. Her page is in the caption as well. So if you guys are digging her, feeling her from what she's giving off, please, please, please go follow her and connect with her on her platform as well. Hey, Tiara.
Hi, Tiara.
Are you able to see the comments?
I am.
Okay, cool. Some of the comments I'll dig out, especially if it's a question, I'll put it on the screen for you to go ahead and tackle.
Okay.
Okay, anybody that's watching, and as usual, go ahead, share the live, tag somebody in that you think should hear this, or tag yourself in so you can come back later and watch it if you don't stay on for the full thing. Let's go ahead and get started. So, Candi, let's give the guest an introduction.
Hi, guys. I'm Candi K. Lynn. I am a podcast host, a strategist. I tell people a lot of times I'm a master. I'm simply trying to master something. So I'm a jack of all trades, still looking to master something. But I talk relationships, sports, hip hop, news, and gossip. Those are my primary focuses.
Now, you said you had was it a talk show called Situationship?
Yes, I did used to do a talk show called A Situationship on Facebook Live.
That sounds dope. And the only reason I'm saying it sounds dope is not that it's okay to be in it, but many of us have been in it or are still in it. So that
exactly.
So are you ever going to bring that back up, or you don't have enough time for it?
I don't. That's what I was thinking, right? And I'm like, sometimes when we let stuff go, should we let it go or should we bring it back? Because as you and I were talking about before we started, we have these new platforms where we can, instead of being in one place because we were recording live together, we can now be in separate corners of the world and put it back on. So maybe this summer I'll look at talking to the team that I was in doing that. Mm-hmm. Or, being that I get my foot in everything, I may bring something back, but it would have a different name. Yeah. So I'm playing with the idea, and I'm going to reach out to my former team because we were interesting. We had, the whole the 30s, the 40s, and like 50-year-old women having these conversations. Man. And so it was a dope concept, dope idea. Timing was just, the issue.
Yeah, it sounds like timing because when you said you had a show Situationship, I'm like, I ain't run across that. I feel like it would have been good information, not only for my personal life, but also for my brand, like just things, wisdom and nuggets to pull up out of there. So yeah, so if you ever about to tackle that again, get that back going, please hit me up. I am willing to assist wherever you need assistance at with that.
Okay, well, that sounds like a plan. And I have to send you the stuff. You know what? When I think about it, like I said, because I have my hands in so many things,
right?
It didn't even dawn until we were just having a general conversation that, oh yeah, we used to do this show called A Situationship. So I can get you over the content, and that may be something we can talk about.
Mhm.
Because, we see Derek Jackson while people be acting like they don't be in situationships.
Oh my
If
God.
y'all are sleeping with a married man or somebody who got a girlfriend
Yeah.
or whatever, you're in a situationship. Call it what you want to call it.
Yes. I'm glad you said that. I know, guys, we haven't touched our topic yet, but this is really good. Situationships, many of us are dealing with it. Many of us have dealt with it. It is something that definitely needs to be talked about. And I like the fact that you said if you're even with somebody's girlfriend, the normal thing is, of course, we know, okay, if you're messing with somebody's spouse, yes, that's wrong. But we tend to think just because this person is not married, it's okay to deal with them. And it's not. There's a difference. If they're in a committed, quote unquote, committed relationship, married or not, it's still wrong. It's still a situationship. So yeah. All right, so
We 100% agree.
yeah. So we definitely got to hit that topic. We got to get back into that because it's that's what's trending in this generation. So it's definitely a dope topic to hit. Talking about situationships, but going into the next. So, what made you choose this particular topic?
The relationship the pouring into our spouse, because it's important, like our partner in everything we do. When we talk relationships, I think people don't understand that any type of relationship that you have, it is a relationship. You have to do the work, you have to invest, you have to get to know that person. And I think that's something that we need to understand on why things fail, because we don't pour into people what they need. We sometimes pour into people what we need, what we want. You have to pour into those people what it is that they need. So that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it, to share an experience, share some ideas, and start a conversation about how we can, especially in our communities, how
Yeah,
can we extend our relationships beyond 5 years in divorce or
yeah.
15-year mark, and get to how do people get to 15 years in divorce?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's
as people change, they need different stuff.
absolutely. I like how you said, because I feel like even with my brand, I feel like I'm dealing with people trying to get them to the point of accountability and not being so selfish. So I like when you said pouring into them what they need, not what you need. I think a lot of us do that. It's like, oh, I was just talking to a guy the other day, just on a general topic, not nobody I'm interested in, but we were just saying it's like sometimes we give somebody something and we expect them to give that exact thing back to us exactly how we gave it. But we're giving people what we need and not what they need. And it's a big difference in, that type of thing. I don't think we talk about it enough. Um, Personally, my opinion, I feel like we talk about what we're not getting. And a lot of what we're not getting is probably because you're not giving somebody what they need. So, you're not
Those
fulfilling.
are facts.
Yeah. You're not fulfilling them. So they're empty. So they can't give you back what you need when you're not giving them what they need. That's the selfless part of relationships. So,
Yes.
so what does it mean to deposit into your partner?
Woo, to deposit, right? So that means to put into them something that's going to build them up. And I was listening to a pastor one time, and he talked about the gallon effect, the gallon and the half gallon. And I actually have a water bottle, so I'm gonna use this as an example. So this is a water bottle, and the water bottle is 1 pint. Okay. And if all I have inside of me to give, love, selflessness, as you said,
Yeah.
of how to give to somebody else, if I'm only a pint, this is all I got to give. But if you need a gallon, it's going to be short when I go to pour into the gallon, because that's all I have. So when we pour into people, we're giving them what they need mentally, whether it's the conversations, we spend the time with them, we're doing the small things that matter. So we got to deposit. It's like we go to the bank. You go to the bank, you have to put money in.
Mm-hmm.
So if the person that you're with they want a Netflix and chill is their idea of a good date, then you've got to Netflix and chill. You've got to, sometimes affirm them. I think as Black women, we are taught that our men are supposed to be tough, right? He needs to be told, hey, babe, you're doing a great job. I appreciate you for paying the mortgage this month. I appreciate you for keeping the lights on. So sometimes we have to learn how to just give them what they need, because they don't necessarily need, our partners don't necessarily need what we do. Me,
Absolutely.
sometimes I want, a gift. That's like your deposit into me. And yesterday, I can honestly say I was surprised. I was going through my emails and it says, hey, you have a Cash App. he sent me money for lunch. He
Yeah.
poured into me just because he randomly thought about me.
Yeah.
Or when you go to the store and shop, women, we be shopping.
Hmm.
Grab him something for work, or a pair of tennis shoes. Jordans came out this morning. Did you get in line to get the Jordans? I was asleep. I didn't. But do you do you ever get up? Do you do the things that he likes?
Yeah.
And it doesn't always have to be money. Did you cook something that he enjoys? Did you, buy him something that he liked? Or did you spend time with him watching a football game, just sitting there being quiet or
Mhm.
understanding what it is that he likes? So that's how we pour into people. We have to give them what it is that they need to continue to go.
And the thing with that is, I want people to understand that what your partner needs is not what society says it needs or social media. You have to learn your partner individually. So, like what you say with the Jordans, you might have a partner who they don't care about you like shopping, but your partner doesn't care about materialistic things as far as shoes or clothes. What do they care about? If they like sports, or they like jewelry, okay, don't stand in the line for the Jordans for them. Go buy them a nice piece of jewelry. Go
Mm-hmm.
try to look up a game, a football game, basketball, whatever. Buy some tickets or something. Surprise them with something that they like. So we got to keep that in mind as well. We can't deposit into our partner what is trending at that moment that society says men want or women want.
Exactly.
So,
And as you said, like the PlayStation, right? Some people play PlayStation, some
yes.
people wear Jordans. If he wears PlayStation, when the football games come out, buy them football games. Like watch what, and in order to deposit, you have to know your partner, right? It's paying attention, it's watching them. What fulfills them? When you see them, what is it that gives them that, ooh, like he's excited? Those are the things that you said, because everybody wants to say hashtag Black Love on social media.
Yeah,
Social media is social media. It's not real, y'all.
it's not.
It's not. Most people are not posting their true, authentic self. They're
Yeah.
not telling you what it is that they want. They're telling you what it is that they think they're supposed to want. A lot of men, if your guy's a tech guy, when tech items come out, get
Yeah.
him the tech items.
The latest phone. Yeah.
Yes. If he's a conference guy, if you have a businessman, there is something different about every single one of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we need what it is that gets us going, not what you think is going to get us going. I'm a bookie. Buy me a book some days.
Yep.
That's enough. Like, I get a book in the mail. I'm like, oh, excited. What is this? Like, thank you.
Yep.
Do what it is. I create a list. I have lists. My family sees the list. I'm really big on, I know what it is that I want. So
Yeah.
everybody else has an idea because I have a book list or I have a gift list. Create lists. That's something else that I tell people. If you want something and maybe your partner just doesn't know, or you didn't communicate it to it, that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing we don't do. People can't deposit into us if they don't know what it is that we want, because we're unsure of what it is that we want or need.
I like how you said that, because I did a panel. Oh, I don't even remember exactly what our topic was, but I did a panel with another relationship coach, and she literally said that. She said, society, we got this thing where we saying, I'm not teaching no man how to love me or treat me or etc. She said that is toxic, that is bad, that is wrong, because how else will your partner know you? You expect them to read especially men. We all know men don't get it fast, quick, or easy. And we, sometimes they act a little slow, not to call them slow, but sometimes they just don't get it. So yeah, you have to teach them. I'm sorry, but you got to teach them you. And I think a lot of that, what you said, I think them not even knowing who they are is the reason why they can't. So you want somebody to learn you, and you don't even know yourself. You don't even know what you like half the time. So yeah, all that plays a part.
A
And,
true part. And,
yeah.
and as you said, like, and I say as women, like, as I get older, I'm paying attention to women, people that I
Yes.
meet. Some of the stuff that I hear, I'd be like, what's
Yep.
this?
Like, yes.
What
Don't.
what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
who was
Absolutely.
supposed to know that? Like, so many people just don't know who they are. What is it that you want? What is it that you need? And when I say that, as you said, being that men are slow, when you've been with a woman who has no clue, she don't even know what's going on in life. Then
Yeah.
you meet somebody like a lady, a woman like you and I.
Who
I'm
know what we
sure and
want?
confident in myself. Like, no, this is what I want. I promise you. Don't do nothing else, because this is how I want it. I
Absolutely.
sound like the mean girl. Like, You pushy, you spoil, you no. And I tell you up front, like, no, I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I desire. So many women now, and there was a situation where somebody I know, they actually bought their girlfriend a gift for Valentine's Day. And I was assisting in buying a gift. Like, I did the research, went through your socials, saw your personality, and you had the nerve to tell this man for the holiday, oh, I didn't want the gift. Well, what did you want?
Because you posting all this extra stuff like this what you want, then I get it. That ain't really what you want.
But you want what everybody else has. You want Louis Vuitton. You don't own Louis Vuitton. And that's what I also try to teach men. Like, your job is not to introduce her to stuff either. Don't introduce people to a lifestyle that they can't maintain for themselves. Ooh. And I want women to understand that. Y'all want lifestyles that you cannot afford. And it sounds mean, but it's the truth. If you can't afford to buy yourself a Louis Vuitton bag, why should that man buy you a Louis Vuitton bag? Because that's not your lifestyle.
See, this is crazy. And I know it's not really hitting on depositing to your partner, but it is hitting on depositing to your partner, because here's the thing. You have a partner, but you don't even know what you can deposit into them because you're so busy still trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're so busy trying to make him keep up with the Joneses. So now your relationship really ain't a real relationship. It's a whatever you see social media type relationship. So that's also making it hard as to why you can't deposit into your partner. You don't even know you. Nor do you know them, because you're trying to make them be that man you saw on social media. You're trying to make them be that woman you saw on social media. That was good.
That's the truth, because it is depositing, right? Remember the whole Quavo Sweetie situation, and the whole Birkin conversation got started. And I'm sitting here going, Birkin, y'all can't afford Coach. Some of y'all, Michael Kors, y'all don't own. Y'all, like, until the social media showed up, some of y'all had never been in the Louis Vuitton. None of y'all knew what a Birkin was. None of y'all knew what a Birkin was. And that's just honest to God truth. I've worked in retail, high-end retail. I know what a Birkin is. They're expensive. Yeah. You are the 1%, Oprah, who's buying the Birkins normally. Now, because of hip-hop, we've made you see Cardi do it, you do Sweet. That's not y'all's lane. This man cannot afford to deposit a $10,000 Birkin bag into you. You don't have a house. He gonna buy you a Birkin?
So I love how you said that, because I was going to take you back to when you said affirm your partner, when you said about speaking life into your man. That's another thing. It's like, I feel like as women, when you deposit it into your partner, a lot of times we're depositing, trying to think of the word, we're depositing discouragement. We're depositing you're not good enough. And we do that by things such as this, an example, what you're talking about. We don't even have a house. We can barely afford a car note. We can, we don't have the proper things in perspective, but you want me to spend all this money on a purse for you. You want me to cash out on some shoes for you. So it's like, I can never live up for the man. I can never live up to her level, because I got to be this rich for her to feel like I'm a man. I got to be this rich for her to feel like I'm the head of the household, or I mean something. Yeah, a lot of us are depositing discouragement into our man, and that's the opposite of what we're trying to get.
Exactly. And even sometimes I have to work on it. I have to work on well, you didn't do this, and that's where communication comes in the depositing into your partner, because sometimes we need to be rerouted.
Yeah.
We have to be rerouted. We have to be reminded of we're not perfect, but we got to have realistic expectations. And I believe we live in a society now where everybody's looking at what they're doing online. You're not Cardi. You're not Quavo. You're not Offset. Your money doesn't look like that. Yeah. And I tell women all the time, poor women want rich men. There's nothing that a poor woman can give a rich man. You can't deposit into him financially. You're not on his level. You can't do the things that, these men with money can do. What can you buy him?
I see men now, a lot of them, and women get mad at that. And a lot of women who I guess quote unquote can afford it, then they take shots at these men when they say it. But a lot of men be like, man, y'all need to date in y'all tax bracket, because you coming into, you want me to wine and dine you, buy you the best of the best, the highest of the highest, and then when I need some, I can't go to you for that. Like, you want me to maintain this super luxury lifestyle, for you want me to deposit into you that, but what are you depositing into me? Because half the time, men these days, I can cook for myself, and if I can't cook for myself, I got money enough to go buy a good dinner. I can clean for myself, and if I can't, I can pay a maid. So what else as a woman do you deposit into a higher tax bracket type man?
Affirmation. You need to be affirming.
Absolutely.
You need to be affirming, and you need to do the small things. But again, you also need to date in your tax bracket. Like there's got to be, and that's what I say about, like, as women, the ones of us who don't agree with some of this other stuff, we get the hit. But I'm fine with that because it's not reality, and that's all I want women to understand. Like, sometimes I do understand where our men are coming from, because these are fake expectations. Like, y'all are watching, and I say this because I see so many women who are doing it, and I'm looking at you knowing this is not your tax bracket.
Definitely.
You did not go to state, and men need to also watch trying to build a woman, right? Because they sometimes pick up partners that they can pick up, literally. They need to build her, shape her, mold her, create this lifestyle for her. I tell men all the time, start with depositing with your partner, dinner. We live in a society where we're supposed to be independent. Everybody can pay for dinner at some point.
Yeah.
if you date a man, like you said, deposit it. Take him to dinner.
Show him appreciation at times. Yeah.
Cook for him. If he, there are some men who don't care about cooking. The men from the South, they got this whole thing because their mama used to cook every day. They want you to cook. Like, you know what, homeboy? But sometimes it is like, okay, let me get in this kitchen and cook for him. Like, this is what makes him feel good, because for us, maybe it's something else, but for him, it's that. Yeah. And if you are not in that tax bracket and you do happen to meet a man that is, as we say, deposit in him, can you afford to even take the man to the steakhouse, ladies? And that's all that I ask you to ask yourself before you start demanding these things of these men. If this man has a birthday, like, I've met men that say, oh, I never got a birthday gift before. No woman has ever taken me to dinner. What?
Yeah, because the expectation is that this is what men do. Men winding down you. Men are supposed to pursue you. Men are supposed to chase you. I feel like it's so many trends in this society that we need to break, throw away, burn up, get rid of, because it's causing havoc in a lot of, situations or relationships. It's like I'm noticing it's more so the man is supposed to deposit more into the situation than the woman has. I just have to look pretty. I just have to be sexy. I just have to look thick. I just have to whatever to your eye. I just have to please your eye, and then you do the rest of, maybe give you sex every now and then or whatever the case, and then you just gotta take on the rest. That's what it seems like. It's just our thought process these days are just not where it should be when it comes to relationships.
But that's what we've been taught, right? As you say, if we're going on society norms, we need to get into relationships with our partners and decide what works best for us as a partnership, not what society says, because we should be formulating our own concepts once you turn 18. Even some of the stuff I tell people all the time that your parents taught you, some of the stuff you need to unlearn it.
Oh,
your mama, your daddy, your grandma, you need to unlearn it.
It was wrong.
And I also it was wrong for me. Like, for my life,
it worked for that season, that situation, that lifetime. It worked. Not now.
Not now. And so I tell people, unlearn some of the stuff. And then you look at, we're in a culture where there are a lot of kids who come out of homes where there's never been a daddy in the home, or, vice versa. I know men that were raised by their fathers. There was never a woman in the home. So when you have these situations, our ideas of what our roles are come from our parents. Yeah. So until we decide that we are going to see what works for us, then we change our mindset. Growing up in my house, my mom didn't always work. She was a stay-at-home mom. My dad paid the bills. And that may not be what works best for me. One, I don't want nobody being able to control my money. That's number one for me. And I learned that because, like I said, my mom didn't always work. When she did, she controlled her own money. It's not like my father controlled her money. My grandmother worked. My aunt worked. I saw women around me getting to the bag, as I tell people, like young. So for me, I'm a hustler. I'm gonna get my own money. Yeah. Now, can we split some things in the house? Because again, that's depositing into your partner.
Absolutely.
He doesn't have to pay all the bills. For Black men, especially, they wear a lot of stress on their chest. That's why they die first.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about depositing into your partner, if he has to go to work, he has to pay all the bills. He has to, like you said, take care of you. Everything is about you. Well, what is he supposed to do for himself?
Yeah. Yep.
And if you raise hell every time he's going to hang out with his homeboys to watch a football game, or just a strip club, or whatever it is that he wants to do to deposit into himself,
right?
What does that leave him with?
Yep. Yeah, it's going back to the whole stay-at-home mom thing, or wife, girlfriend, whatever. I see people saying, I would love to do that. And the people that say they would love to do it, it's the people who, when I tell you, want the expensive hair, want the expensive nails, want the latest, greatest of the clothes, the shoes. You cannot be the stay-at-home mom that our great grannies and all them used to be, because they didn't have all that luxury stuff that we go after now. So for you to want to be a stay-at-home mom, you're gonna have to let a lot of that go. And a lot of women these days, they not letting that stuff go. So guess what? So guess what? You cannot be the stay-at-home person that you thought you can be without having your own your own goals to build a brand, to bring in something into the house that way. Okay, if he doing all these, the bills and stuff like that, I'm gonna bring in the money to pay for my own hair and my nails, my, whatever upkeep you need for yourself. That don't mean just sitting and spending his money and going shopping. Not in today's time.
But what did you say? That's because you're not depositing it to him, right?
Yeah.
You want this man to pay the mortgage. You want this man to feed you. You want this man to keep the lights on, to take care of the house, right? Because we're not cutting the grass either. Remember, some of these stay-at-home moms. My mom was a stay-at-home mom who was going to go cut the grass, because that's just who she is. She was going to cut the grass, put the flowers in the yard, paint the house, clean the house, wash the clothes, buy the clothes. She did all that. Y'all not cutting grass, because I know I'm not cutting grass.
I know I'm not.
So he gonna pay for the grass. Y'all don't want to clean up either. Some of y'all. He's supposed to pay for the house keep. And then you're in a financial hole, and he's saying budget.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't understand why he's frustrated, because those cars got to have insurance on them. And the nicer your car, the more insurance coverage you need. You need a higher level of coverage. You cannot drive a Mercedes-Benz and have $150,000 worth of coverage.
Mm-hmm.
You in another insurance bracket, the higher your car is. Yeah. So we have to think about all of those things. As you said, you want $300 worth of hair in your head, then you're gonna go pay somebody $500 to put it in your head.
Yeah, our lifestyle is. I don't think, and I see a lot of stats where, men will make just simple gestures and say, we don't care about this type of stuff, ladies, believe it or not. Women will get mad instead of listening and understanding what they're actually saying. They'll get mad. Well, you don't control my hair. You don't control my nails. You don't control this, da, da, da. Okay, this person's not saying they're trying to control it. What we're saying is, especially if we're going to be in a healthy relationship or get ahead in life, especially financially, you don't need that for me to want you. It's more to you. I might want you because I see that stuff, but that ain't going to keep me around after so long, especially if I see that you're draining me financially, mentally, emotionally. Men gonna go find somebody else to fill that void, void for them, whether that's leaving you alone altogether or just keeping you strung along, until they find the right person or whatever.
But I think you said the word that they need that we as people, whether it's male, because there's some males that's hanging on to their female partners too.
Yeah.
The word is drain, right?
Yes.
Drain.
Yes.
And for women that are hustlers, I've done this stay-at-home thing like twice. It ain't for everybody.
Man.
Especially being that I don't have kids. Staying at home is not conducive for me because it's just not conducive.
Mm-hmm.
But the drainage comes in, as you said, when people feel like they're doing it by themselves.
Yes.
And if he's telling you, I don't care about the weave, I don't care about the nails, you can't go to the nail shop, get your nails done and your toes done without coming out almost $100 now.
See, and most people paying way more than that. But here's the thing. I'm a reader, so I read. I'm in a lot of relationship groups. This is my thing. I like to see these things so I can have topics to speak on. So when I'm coaching somebody, I can Marcy, it is not for everyone. I have topics I can coach on. I have, advice I can give, just wisdom, depositing into myself so that I can give out, to other people. But we spend so much money on that, the hair, nails, and all of that. And it's because a man said, y'all don't even do that for us. Y'all do it for other women. You're not doing it so we could be like, oh, babe, you look good. You're doing it so another woman could be like, dang, she bad. Oh, dang, she tight. Oh, them nails spot. You're not even doing it for your partner. You're busy doing it for other women, getting the kudos from other women or or even getting kudos from other men, on social media or whatever. That's the taking away from your partner. That's the taking away from the relationship versus depositing it into, the relationship or the partner. What are you doing it for? I think that's the end goal you have to ask yourself. What really are you doing it for? Because it's also not about self-care for real, because a lot of these people that got that stuff, you can tell they still depressed, they still miserable.
And again, it goes back to knowing who you are, right? For me, like, I do my own hair. So I always went to the beauty shop growing up. That was, my mom did our hair. My hair has always looked really nice. I do it for me. That's deposited into me. You don't have to see my hair and be like, girl, your hair is cute. I'm going to be okay anyway, because I know when my hair is cute, I'm going to give you a little slip, So, and that's what it goes back to, as you say, of taking into your partner. He's saying, I don't care about those things. Mm-hmm. So if you're getting your hair done and paying $500, it needs to be because that's really what you want. Yes. That's really what you need. And realistically, for those of us, as you said earlier, trying to get ahead in life, me personally, because I can sew my own hair, I'm not giving nobody $500.
Oh no. And when you single, it's a different ballgame, obviously. But even being single, you still need to set yourself up financially, because again, what man who knows what he wants, who has money, want a woman that's broke, or want a woman who looks like every dime you get, you gonna spend. So that means when you get with me, you gonna spend every dime I got, and I can't have that. What man wants that? Not too many men are cuff a woman like that. They're gonna use you for what they can use you for, because they know you're just materialistic. I'll throw a little bit of cash here to you, still get what I want, and that's that. But when it comes to being in an actual relationship, I'm not saying take away from you like your hair done. I'm not saying take away from that. I'm not saying take away from the nails. I'm not saying take away from any of that. What I'm saying is, here comes the compromise. When you have a partner and he's like, babe, we got to get our finances together. It's time to buy this house. We got to cut back on some stuff. You can't be like, well, I ain't cutting back on my hair. I gotta have my hair. No, baby, if you're a real woman, what you're gonna do is you're gonna find a budget with that hair. You're gonna know how to look good on the budget with that hair. You're gonna know how to look good on the budget with them nails, until you and your partner get to the place where y'all got that house or whatever end goal it is y'all are trying to get to. I have a okay, let me see. So I don't know if you see her comment, but Marcy said, to each his own. Honestly, I do it for myself first. And yes, I want my partner to notice it like that. Meaning, babe, nothing's changed. So yeah. So Marcy, so if you look good before you got your man, definitely still look good after you get him. So we're not taking away from that. But when we're talking about depositing into your partner, you got to deposit into him that he's the head, that you trust in him, that you can follow his lead. So when it comes to you guys, like I say, having an end goal to buy a house, or you guys trying to get this car, or, some of the type of investment that you're trying to get, as his woman, as his partner, you should be able to cut back on the expenses, even if it means, your hair sometimes, the expensive hair, or expensive nails, or expensive clothes. You should be able to cut back on that momentarily, so that you can deposit into your partner what you guys, came into agreement on.
I agree.
Hey, Valencia. Hope I said your name right. Guys, so get your questions in. If you got questions for our guests, get the questions in. Thank you for the comments. Share the live, tag somebody in who would most likely, be interested in depositing into your partner. And then we're going to tackle creating boundaries in a minute as well. So Candi, you did touch on this a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and single this question out again. Just whatever you could think of, just show us or tell us, how can a woman deposit into her partner?
So depositing is knowing your partner. That's what we started with. Mm-hmm. What does my partner need? What does it need? What does he require to satisfy him? What is it that's going to make him happy? What is it that's going to help him get to the next step in his career? So depositing into your partner can look like as much as, babe, you look amazing this morning. Yeah. Babe, thank you for paying the mortgage or the rent. Thank you for whatever it is you bought me, right? Remember, also, women, we sometimes forget to say thank you because we think we're entitled to certain things.
Oh my
We
God.
think we're entitled to certain things. So we forget to say thank you. Some people are into, cash app him for his haircut. If he goes to the barbershop on Fridays, go ahead and send him, $20. Like, babe, I was just thinking about you. He likes liquor. Get him a bottle of liquor so that when he comes home on Friday, he can unwind. During football season, get him some beer so he can watch the football game on Monday night or on Sunday. His fantasy league. Buy him something for the fantasy league. Put some money towards the fantasy league. Men have a variety of things that they like.
Yep.
We need to, because they're simple.
Yeah.
Most
More
men
simple than
are
us.
are simple, right? And notice I've never even gone to the range of, like we talked about earlier, the more expensive stuff like Jordans or PlayStations. Those, for a lot of men that make money, they can buy it themselves. They can buy it themselves. Some of them will be just excited that you thought about them. So when you go to buy a pair of Jordans, you are depositing in him because he's like, oh, okay, she rocking with me. Mm-hmm. She took time to think about me, to find out how to get the shoes, and she knows what size shoe I wear. All of those things come into deposit into your partner. Those are the large scale. Yeah, paying attention. Who is he?
So men, I like how you said that with affirming him, showing him appreciation and acknowledging him. I don't think we realize, like you said, a lot of men these days in social media, I hate the thing that's going around on social media. We're so quick to call men broke. And the thing is, not all these men, yeah, you have them. Yes, you have them. But not all these men are broke. Some of these men just ain't going to spend money on you. He know what type of chick you is, and he just don't feel you worth spending the money on. But for your man who's actually your man, and that's your partner, a lot of times they can buy the stuff they sell. They can get the stuff they sell, appreciate them. The littlest things. Yeah, you might be like, oh, well, that's what he's supposed to do. It don't matter because he don't have to do it. He literally don't have to do it. But because he did it, show him that appreciation. Shout him appreciation. Shout him out. Affirm him. Yes, Mossy. Can you see? She said not nagging or starting petty arguments. Those are the major ones I heard men complain about. Women love nagging. Women love starting the petty arguments. So yeah.
Right, but if you're depositing, sometimes when we deposit, we don't have time to do that because we're encouraging. We're on a positive tip. You don't have time to nag if you're saying like, be great today. Like that's our thing today. I'm about to send a text message. Have a great day today. Do something amazing.
Yes.
Change the world.
I think when we look at what we're missing versus being grateful for what we have with our partner, that's when Monty, the nagging comes in more. That's when the petty arguments come, because now you're not appreciating this person for who they are, where they are, what they could be. You looking at, well, I ain't get this. Oh, well, this bill was due, so he had to pay this, or he couldn't help me get my hair done, or he couldn't, I couldn't do this. You're looking at the minor, and they do be minor. A lot of them be minor. I'm not disregarding that there are some major ones. But a lot of them be minor, and we disregard what's going good, and we're focusing more on what's not going good.
And you want to know a perfect example into deposit into your man, into your partner? And I say partner a lot of times because I have friends that are on both sides of the spectrum.
That's why I said
everything is the same.
Yes.
I have a homegirl that, that was like, I want a woman to buy me a house. And my other homegirl was like, I ain't buying no half of no house just to buy, it's the same thing. So it doesn't matter, how your relationship is, or if it's a traditional situation or your own, however you identify and address yourself.
We're saying this.
Yes.
Focus on the individual as an individual. Yeah.
Yes. And as a partner. And that's why we're using the word partner.
Yeah.
So Ryan Coogler, if everybody's familiar with Ryan Coogler, who wrote Wakanda. He's a writer.
Okay.
So for Black Panther, he's a writer. His girlfriend at the time bought him the writing program so that he could write his scripts.
Whoa.
So she deposited into his career. Mm-hmm. He is now one of the biggest, he's big. We're on the way to Black Panther 2. He's connected to Disney and Marvel. Mm-hmm. She poured she watered that seed. He wanted to be a writer. That's also how you deposit into your partner. If your partner has a dream, your partner wants to start his online care company, do the research.
Yeah.
That's deposited into your partner. Buy him a lawnmower. Find, do his flyers. There are so many things that we can do to deposit in each other that doesn't cost us a dime.
Yeah. I noticed too, especially the main thing that does not cost a dime to us is encouragement. Encourage that man. like you said earlier in the panel, men go through so much more than we can realize, and it's because a lot of them, they're not voicing it as much as women voice theirs, but they go through just as much, if not even more, than what we go through. Then, and this just took me somewhere else. Then when they do voice it, what we're doing is we're turning them down. Now you complaining like a woman, or now and it's like, where okay, okay, chill out for a minute, calm down, breathe, take a step back, let him talk, let him get that out. What women don't realize is when your man feel like you are a safe place for him, y'all gonna conquer the world. That man gonna do any and everything for you. I promise he will. I promise, without you even asking. If you just deposit encouragement into him, if you just show him like, hey, babe, you can't nobody take your spot. You that deal. Like, you the man. If you just deposit that into him, that's priceless. That don't cost no money at all.
You hit a nerve. You hit a nerve, right? Transparent moment, right? And when we do these conversations, people don't understand. We are also, even in these spaces, as we're trying to teach and talk to other people, we are being vulnerable. In my past, and I say this to ladies, I know I have been that toxic person because it was never me. And I would be like, you acting like a boop, 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 boop.
Ooh.
And I was so quick to say that. And now when I look back on stuff, like, those situations are the reason that I am where I am. Yeah. And I'm forever grateful for it. But I've had to go back and apologize, like, profusely, because I realized that I was tearing somebody down on top of that. So, like, there may have been some things that you could have did differently, but I also could have listened to you, because I would be like, shut down mode. Like, I don't want to hear this. You acting like you acting like a woman. Like, are you on your period this month? Like, so inappropriate behavior. And women do it all the time. We need to own our ish. Like, we need to own that we too are toxic people sometimes, that we are terrible people. It's the accountability. But ladies, do not say that to a man, because you never realize how broken that man is just from what your words are. Because as you said, he felt like you were his safe space. You destroy the trust. So it's hard, once you get into that space of being able to communicate effectively with somebody who's not listening to you.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and we want people to listen to us. So we've got to be able to do the same and with a level of respect.
Yeah. I hear men say that all the time. Like, when I tried to talk to her at one point, she did nothing but shun me. She called me a bitch. When I was pouring out my feelings to her, she said, "Oh, you acting like a female." I've heard plenty of men say this. Like, I tried, and when I did, she cut me. She shut me out. She shut me down. She talked about me. So now I'm not finna try anymore. And women are saying the instant, they're like, well, I mean, try again. Why not try again? But no, you don't realize men are not like us. Men are definitely not like us. When you get that man to open up, because many don't, you got to really take that time and be careful with what you do and what you say, because you may or may not get that chance again. And if you get that chance again, ain't no tell how long it's going to take for him to want to open back up to you and give you that chance again. But so let's get into, and I know you're not a man, obviously, you're not a man, but kind of teach us or show us how a man can deposit into his partner, based off because you are definitely a mature woman, you're definitely a mature adult, you have a mature mindset, so I can trust that you can be able to speak from, a man's point. Yeah, both perspectives. So, and I have men that follow this platform as well. So that's why I added this question, even though you are a woman. So how can a man deposit into his partner?
And so I'm going to start by saying, like my mom would always tell us, the best way to give examples is to use yourself. And I actually am in an adult situation, is what I feel like as we become adults, where, like I said, I started the show with, yesterday I got a $20 cash app just for lunch.
Wow.
It was the concept of, you are working. I know, you're tired, but here's $20. Treat yourself to lunch. My laptop that I'm using, you were in this space. I hate your laptop. Like, right. I was still using my HP, making it work, and, my Beats. And he was like, that thing is heavy. Like, here, for Christmas, like, that was my Christmas gift. Like, here is your laptop. Like, my webcam. Every day is something positive. Oh, you can be great. You can conquer the world. What can I do to help you? Sometimes it's the cooking. Dinner is done when I get home because I'm the
Yeah,
one who works late.
that's
So as
good.
we were talking about earlier, the trade-offs in relationships. When you have a man who's willing to say, okay, she works late tonight, because we're saying men can cook themselves. They're not always asking us to cook. If he cooks dinner while you're gone, that's a trade-off. For
Yeah.
moms, if a man is willing to do extra with your child, pick the baby up from school, put the baby in the bed or in the tub, or your young child, get them to practice, to give you a day off, to give you an opportunity to hang out with your girls or just to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Sending you to the nail shop, right? When he
Yeah.
doesn't feel like you're draining him
Yeah.
and he can give you, okay, babe, here's $100. Go treat yourself today.
Absolutely.
He's depositing into you. So he can deposit into your career. He can deposit into your self-development, you know, a course. We are into these courses. We're doing podcasts and blogs.
Yes.
If he pays for you a course, buys you a book that's going to help you to get the knowledge that you need to deposit into yourself to make yourself better in your business platforms.
Yeah.
Paying for your things for your brands. Men have so many ways that they actually do pour into us. And I feel like if we spend more time pouring into the things that we need in our life and not the things that we want, we'll have a better outcome. And it's easier for them to understand when spending their money, right?
Absolutely.
$1,000 laptop, especially speaking from my partner, who I consider to be a man because he carries himself in that manner.
Yes. Yes.
For him, a laptop made more sense than a Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Understanding how your partner thinks also helps him to better pour into you where he feels like he's being able to do something. Men, they take us to dinner. When your man takes you to dinner, he's pouring into you. A date night. That means that he wanted to spend time to develop and work on you guys' relationship. When he's taking time to sit down and talk to us, they don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Women, just FYI, they never
Man.
want to talk.
Hardly ever. Guys, get your questions in. Get your questions in. Share the live, guys. Get your questions in to our guest. We're talking about depositing into your partner. So ask her anything while she's here. We'll be closing out in about 20-25 minutes. So get your questions in to her. But yes, men. Oh my God. One thing, if you don't get, obviously you can see women are emotional. Obviously you can see we like to talk. So that is a major thing you can do for your partner. It's the compromise. Hug her. We're emotional. Give us random hugs. We love hugs. We love random hugs. Lay up with us sometimes. Yes, you don't want to Netflix and chill all the time, but every now and then surprise us. Especially if we like to lay up and watch movies. Surprise us. Babe, we finna do this tonight. Pick the movie. We finna lay up. Just enjoy each other's presence. I'm finna lay around you. I'm finna just let you talk to me. Blabber off whatever it is you want to blabber off about, and I'm just gonna listen. Like, for some of us, those are depositing into us as you being our man depositing into us. So,
and remember, ladies, right? We're talking from the man's perspective, so we go back because a lot of people are joining us. You got to know what it is you want because he ain't trying to read your mind.
yes,
like, we're emphasizing today that men are not really. I'm learning that sometimes it's us who make them look worse than they are. These dudes just really want you to tell them what it is that you need, and most of them
wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that.
And a lot of times they're willing to accommodate reasonable needs, but they need to know. We assume that they know. Yeah. We assume that they know that we need, like you said, we want to Netflix and chill with a bottle of wine. Men, you can buy women a good bottle of wine. Some of these women that are into wine, introduce them to a new scent. Have a wine tasting at home. Yeah. There are all kinds of things that they can do, but they need to know what it is that you want. Yeah. They don't want to have to guess. They like we said, they don't want to talk. Leave them a note. Tell your man, hey, babe, I want to Netflix and chill tonight. Yes. He's going to be more willing to accommodate because he knows what you want. They don't want to guess.
And go ahead. I think, and like I said, we got to realize women and men are so different. I'm not saying this. I don't want anybody to take this wrong and saying men are weaker, but women, we we gotta take control on a lot of those particular things, especially because we like to talk, we like to pay attention, we like to read stuff, we like to see stuff, read the comments on social media. We like these things, so we're making ourselves more aware of what's out here. Men just kind of, I mean, if they not interested, they not reading it. If they not interested in certain things, they not finna go and research and Google this or Google that or go ask their homeboy, after you probably nag to them a few times, and maybe they be like, oh, I'm tired of her nagging. What can I do for her? But the thing is, don't make them have to read your mind. If you want to chill tonight, babe, what you doing? Can we chill tonight? And if he can't tonight, if this man love you and really want to be with you, he gonna say, babe, I can't tonight, but Thursday, I got you. You know what I mean? Like, just tell him, what do you want? Like, open those grounds of communication. First of all, open them grounds to show him, like, hey, I want you around. I want to spend this time with you. And again, now we're not talking about just any and everybody. We literally just talking about your partner. Because sometimes, we be trying to do these things with people who don't want us, and then we get mad because it don't work. So we ain't talking about that type of situation. We ain't talking about those situations.
That's another conversation for another day.
Yeah, don't confuse it. It ain't what we talking about. And be like, yeah, well, y'all said no. We talking about
that he is. They are your. They said they're in a relationship with you. Not just that you said it. They said, like, y'all. Everybody else knows that y'all are. Somebody else knows that y'all are in this relationship.
Yeah, not you.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
That's their situationship. See what I mean? But so one of our YouTubers said, women are designed as helpmeets. Exactly. We are designed to be the helper. We want all those details of information and etc. to be a help to our spouse. And that's why you're absolutely right. But that's why it's important to, like Candi said, tell him. What's wrong with telling him? You are designed to be the helpmeet, just like you said. Why can't we help him understand us? Why can't we help him be more romantic? Men don't come romantic all the time. Not 95% of them.
But where do they learn that from? And that's another thing that I'm learning. Like, how is he, as you just said earlier, they don't care about Derrick Jaxn and social media. They saw it on their timeline. They read it. They moved on.
They said, I believe he was like that.
Yeah, they was like, y'all was believing him. Yeah. They don't care. Also, a man that works, ladies, you want a man that makes a whole lot of money. He ain't got time. That's another thing. The ones that are dedicated in their career, they keep their head down and they focus on the goal. They don't have time for the extra stuff. So anything extra that we need, we literally have to express that to them, because how does he know? Who told him how to be romantic? How do they know what they're supposed to be doing romantic? And if you've been with other people that didn't require that of you, how would I know that?
You got to think about that too. I like that you just said that, because it brought a thought to my head. And I battle with this too. So guys that are watching this, and you've seen me say this on other platforms, those who watch me before on other ones, I always say, this is not just a platform to help you. Trust me, I'm getting help myself. I'm getting my own whoopings when I have these type of, things, because I don't know what the guest is going to say. They don't know my questions. We don't pre-discuss that type of stuff. So a lot of times y'all hit me where it hurts as well while we on these panels. But that's the goal of the platform. But with what you just said, the thing that blows me, I get it. I do get it to a certain extent, but I think we take it overboard. The whole thing where a man will make time for what he wants. You're absolutely right. But when you have a man working, like you just said, when you have this man that's busting his behind 24/7, trying to make sure everything is good for the house financially, and he's being that provider that we stress them out to be, he might not think, let me make time for a date night. Because all he thinking about is providing. All he thinking about is making sure my family don't go hungry. We didn't get kicked out and got to go live with nobody else. That's what's on his mind. He's a one sound, one band type thought person. But with us, if we ain't had no time, and I do agree, men should be thinking about their partner. I do agree with that, so I'm not disregarding that. But if we know men don't always think broadly like us, they only focus on, one or two things at that moment, then we shouldn't be like, oh, well, you'll make time for me if you care. Okay, babe, listen, I know you've been working. You free on Friday? Can we do this? Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing
wrong with that.
And it wasn't in his, and again, I say this because when you've been with different type of men, once you get to that pinnacle where you're with somebody who really has it figured out, that's trying to be a man, right? Because as women, we want to tell men how to be men.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't the same, and every man's not gonna move the same.
Yeah.
But you also have to understand when you want these men, that have these jobs that can afford you these lifestyles, he ain't got time for some of this stuff that we talking about.
No,
Like
for real.
literally in his day-to-day operations, the time is just not available.
For
He
real.
will make time for you because he loves you. But some of this small stuff that you're talking about, it is literally outside of his lane.
Yeah.
His lane is, as you said, how do I keep this roof over our head? How do I keep these cars taken care of? How do I keep this house together? Or make sure we're, if an apartment is time to move, that we moving. Whatever it is that he needs to do, because in his mind, that's what he's been taught is being a man. He's being a provider.
Yeah.
We're asking for him to be a provider. We're asking for him to be romantic. We're asking for him to grab great D off. We asking for a lot.
And we forget that you're right. We forget men aren't taught these things. Men aren't trained this way. Women are, and from little girls to playing house and all that. We are literally trained that way. So, as my YouTuber commented and said, teach him. We are the helpmate. So teach him that, pull that romantic side out of him. Because I'm pretty sure a lot, you have some men who may have it, and we'll turn around and we feel like, so 10 of the men might have it. So we want to target the 90 and be like, well, what's wrong with y'all? These 10 got it. Not realize, every man is different. Every man was raised different. Every man got, a different experience, a different background. It could have been he was with a woman trying to be romantic, and that last woman tore him down, shut him down. Nothing he did was ever right. So it could have put him in the mode, well, shoot, I'm just not going to be romantic. You just never know, what men have dealt with. So that's why it's important to know your particular partner.
But
Yeah,
and it's also, like I said, I go back to, what is it that you want? What is your idea of romance? Because he may do something, and as you said, men do not like to be rejected. So if they've previously been shut down, what is your idea of romance? There are some women that'll be like, well, I don't like flowers. Well, he was trying to be romantic. He bought you flowers. How does he know what to do for you if you don't tell him?
I do not like flowers. So now what I've ran into before is, I had a guy who, he don't even do flowers, but he just heard this is what women like. So he bought me flowers, and I was like, I said, I thank you. I appreciate you. He also gave me money too. Now I like the money part, but I was like, he was like, dang, the flowers died within like a day or two. He was like, you ain't even take care of the flowers. I was like, I don't like flowers. Like, I'm not a flower chick. So I had to explain to him what I like and what I don't like. So, and he was just basically like, oh, well, I just assumed that's what all women want. So then again, it had to show me like, listen, whoever you decide to be with, and that's why dating is important before y'all become exclusive. Whoever you decide to be with, you literally have to train them on learning you, because you can't accept the flowers while you're dating and be hating them. But then after y'all are, a couple, you like, why you keep buying me flowers? I don't even like flowers. Whole time he ain't know that, because you was smiling.
Never told him.
Them while y'all was,
Yes. And you got to be honest, right? And I used to not be a flower girl, but when you date somebody who is super romantic, you start to fall in love with them. But they also look so beautiful in a bouquet, ladies, on your table in my house. Yeah. They just make your house. And like, people think you're supposed to buy roses. That's the problem. Roses die really quick. There are so many other flowers. Exactly. Roses die quick. They cute and all, and that's what, buy bouquets. Like, I get bouquets, and I buy flowers for the house anyway. So they are so beautiful on my table. But it was something that I had to grow into. Like, now we're putting together my bouquets. Like, I put together a bouquet. But again, how does somebody know that you don't like flowers if you don't tell them? We complain about all the wrong stuff.
All the wrongs. I want to say too, yes, learning each other wants, needs, and desires is key. And it's big key. And it's not that he always has to learn you. Communicate to him. That's a part of learning as well. Not you just sitting back being quiet, being mad, and making him have to read your mind. Not only that, you need to be learning him as well. And with you saying that, you have to grow into the flowers. I'm the type of person, I don't like flowers, but I'm a person where if I know we're building together, we are locked in together, I am willing to compromise. If I know my man is only buying flowers because he think that's what you're supposed to do, then of course I'm like, nah, babe, I don't like flowers. Let's work on something else. But if I know this is the type of man you are, it makes you whole or feel complete to buy your lady flowers. Guess what? I'm gonna take them flowers and I'm gonna appreciate them because guess what? My man loves to buy flowers. It makes him happy. That's what he want to do. So, babe, I'm gonna encourage you in that. Do what you want to do. That's the compromise. You know what I mean? So it's the
Yeah.
growing into. I grow into the flowers because that's what my babe like.
And
That's
that's what
what.
I did.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
he had been taught, in my past, he had been taught that that was romantic. And
yes.
then when you come in the house and there's a trail of rose petals leading to the tub, you're like, wait,
Oh,
this is like a movie. It's like storybook. And that's how I kind of got into it. And as you said, because that man is trying. But if that man is willing to buy roses, once you told him you want chocolate covered strawberries, he'll buy those too.
yes,
But
yes,
the communication is the aspect that we sometimes forget because as women, I've had to learn. My brother and my producer taught me that I talk at men. So one of the
ooh,
biggest hits for me has been how I say things, not giving them instructions and talking to them, not at them. And that was one of the biggest things that my brother and I would like get into it because we do a show together. Like we're business partners. And so I'm used to him being my baby brother. He a grown man now. So
mhm.
as women, we also forget to transition because when men are not doing what we want them to do, we go to talking at them.
Yeah,
We stop
yeah,
talking to them. So just like in flowers, I don't want flowers. We don't have to be nasty about it when we have a conversation like, babe, I thank you for the flowers.
yeah,
But I'm not gonna take care of those flowers.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's the difference
there's
in how
some
you
other
say it.
yeah, it's how we say it that makes them. We also have to remember to keep them affirmed because
Mm-hmm.
he did do something for you that was nice
Yep.
and not, say, I just don't want those because I said I don't want those.
Yes. So, ladies, keep it in mind what you can do. And I know I had her talking about how can a man deposit, but again, because men are more simple than us. I read a post earlier that said men are simple, women are science projects. And
True,
the crazy part about it is it's true. It's so true. I was in my
true.
feelings a little bit, so I didn't want to agree with it. But it's definitely true. It's definitely true. So, in all of this, women, whatever we do, we have to remember affirm, affirm, affirm. Congratulate your man. Make sure he knows, hey, babe, you doing good. Like, you doing, like, encourage him where he's at. And that's going to make him want to push even more. She said she's taking notes. Yes, yes, honey. That's what these lies for, y'all. Take notes. I don't know if y'all saw me. I've been over here writing stuff down too, but but yes, take notes. Deposit that into your spirit so you could deposit that into your man. But let's go ahead. Let's move on into the next one. We will be closing out soon. So what signs occur to make you aware that you're not depositing into your partner enough?
When they shut down, when I say they shut down, that's male or female. When a person is not talking any longer, and you guys are kind of like coexisting, you know that there is something wrong. And like I said, as women, we're always like, well, babe, let's talk. Maybe we should stop doing so much talking and start doing more action.
Ooh,
Men are action based people. So when you know the communication is lacking and the communication only starts to lack because we're not depositing.
yeah.
We're not giving to that person. That's our opportunity to cook dinner. That's our opportunity to do something, like you said, lay up under him and chill. Let him
Mhm,
have peace because
mhm.
men really want peace. So
Yeah.
as partners, we know that okay, something is missing. Let's stop talking and start depositing. And I
Mhm.
feel like that would really help the situation. Do something nice for him. Do something nice for her. The conversations for them, they just don't like to hear us talk. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's a stressor for them. Like as I get older, for a lot of men, especially men who are like really career driven and they got pressure at work, to come home to pressure for them, that's not like pressure that we should have. Not like it's something that happened or we having medical issues. We're creating issues for ourselves. That becomes difficult for them.
So I heard men say when it comes to that, yes, I like to hear her talk, but sometimes she talks about 85 things in one thing. And it's like men, they aren't as broad as us. So when you talk about something, stay right there. You know what I mean? But I get it. I've done it before too. We will talk about 10 things in one subject and it never was the what the original subject was supposed to be. And so it stresses men. It makes them confused because they like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say because we done went all over the place. I don't really know what to even comment to. So yeah, I know you want your guy to be your best friend, be your homie and all that, and that's good to a certain extent, but sometimes we really need female friends because we need to get off a lot of that talk and that rambling off to them so that we don't have to stress our man out with the unnecessary, nonsense. Um, okay, so one of our commenters, Keith, he said, we become distant and our attention is everywhere else and staying away from becomes more frequent. Yeah, yeah. I know a lot of men too now. And Keith, you're talking about when we're just rambling off, right? Is that what you're talking about? But I do hear a lot of men say that like women just be talking and they have to tune out sometimes because it's too much all in once, and it comes in at the wrong time.
And that's one of the things with me that I think I wish men would also understand. I think people, let me not say men, people should understand. I am a firm believer that I believe it is difficult to be everything to one person. So this
Yes.
idea of wanting your man and your woman to be your best friend, I think that's unrealistic expectations that we place upon ourselves based on society, right?
That's true.
Because as
That's
you
true.
said, some of the things that we want to talk about, he does not care. He
Yeah,
just doesn't care. And I am a person who has male best friends.
I
So
do too.
I come with them, and men sometimes can't understand those relationships, but they need to understand and take some stress off yourself. If it's a true platonic relationship,
Yeah.
those men actually help you out because
Yeah.
some of the stuff that you don't care about, they're willing to listen to because they've been in those capacities.
I had a panel before with a guy, and I actually think his topic was creating a safe space for your partner. And he actually said that he has a woman best friend, and he's married. And he said, to be honest, and it's really platonic. This is what he said. His wife was on the panel as well. She was in the comments. So he was saying it's very platonic. Nothing has happened. Nothing is going to happen. They don't do those type of conversations. And he said literally his best friend, which is a woman, made him get himself together for her because he was like, he'll go to her and be like, man, she was talking about da da da. He said, and the best friend will actually explain to him, this is what she meant, and when you do this, that, and the other, that's why she feel that way. And he literally said, dang, like my best friend, that's a woman, I thought she would take my side, but she literally whooped my butt and made me have to go back and apologize to my woman and work on, the issue. So yes, sometimes them relationships, and even if you got a woman best friend as a woman, as long as you got a best friend, whether it's the same sex or opposite sex, that's gonna whoop your butt and get you together versus pacify you in your mess or your toxicity or whatever the case. I'm all for it,
Because your friends talk you off the ledge. Good friends talk you off the ledge because they know who you are.
Yes.
So they know when you are also out of line. When you
Yeah.
were, well, that was a little disrespectful or that was a little shady or you could have said it differently.
Yes.
And I think that, my best friend, we've been friends since we were 5 years old. We've been through everything in life together. So having a male's idea, sometimes I can say stuff and they'll be like, no, that was you, sis. It was you.
And
you could handle it differently. He don't, they understand each other. And then being able to put them in the room together where they could like talk, like, here recently, it was like a dope situation because it was like, okay, because they are so much alike. So you do kind of gravitate to people that you can talk to, that our spirits have to align is one of my things.
Yep.
And men sometimes just don't need all that we as women have to offer and bring because we come with a lot.
We do.
And the ones of us that can do 99 things at one time, we're different. We do it differently. Think about it. Most men don't work 2 jobs. Meet a man that works 2 jobs, and I want to know him. They do one thing at a time. That's who they are. That's what they focus on. We do 100. Like we can do 100 things and be unbothered by it and keep it moving.
Yeah,
we've got to realize that.
That's the difference, but then it's the beauty in the difference because that's the balance. So if you are with the right partner, they're going to teach you, hey, listen, you don't have to do all them things in one. You don't have to talk about 10 things at one time. Slow down, breathe. Let's focus on one thing at a time. So that's the healthy balance in having the right partner by your side as well. You mentioned something about not talking all the time. Sometimes men don't want us to talk; they want us to do. They want us to see, or they want to see the action. So here's another question: when you get busy in life, a lot of times both men and women. So, do you think a healthy relationship can be maintained with very limited sex?
Maybe. Maybe. And I say maybe because as we transition, as we get older, we need to be realistic.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not trying to throw shade for men that's listening. But
Man.
as our men peak 35, it slows down anyway. So, and that's just the truth. Like we don't, and I'm in a lot of groups where I hear women saying it like he 35 and he can't. Men that get older, the sex is starting to peak anyway. So as women in our 30s, the ones of us who, especially the ones that are athletic and in shape and healthy still, they going up. So we are not codependent on that anyway. Mm-hmm. A healthy relationship is not based simply on sex. You've got to be connected. So you got to understand the older we get anyway, there's going to be less sex anyway. Yeah. But there has to be some type of connection. Mm-hmm. And that's what we have to, intimate connection of some sort. So time may keep you from having sex, but are you, when you're away, you know, if you've ever done long distance, like I've been in a long distance relationship or a relationship where your partner travels for work a lot. Sometimes you got to get on their phone and be like, you know, on FaceTime, you've got to improvise. There's got to be some type of connection where people are being satisfied completely. And that goes back into depositing into your partner.
Intimacy is not just sex. Intimacy is not mainly sex. And that's what we got to get, especially as we get older. Like you said, not only that, we get older, a lot of people, especially men, they've had so much sex in their younger days, they kind of tired. Not tired of it necessarily, but they tired. So it's like my mind is on something else. My mind on getting money. My mind now is on finding who I am. My mind is, you know, kicking and hanging with my boys or building a family. I'm not necessarily wanting sex every night of the week, you know. So, you know, men are changing as we get older. So you have to have. You can't rely on sex being the reason you guys are together. Because not only that ain't gonna last anyway. If you only together because, you know, the sex was good at the moment, you gotta have a healthy, intimate type relationship. Like, what is it? Mind sex. Like, mind sex is so much better than that physical sex once you guys are older, because when you got their mind, you got their heart. So whether you having sex or not, this person's gonna yearn for you. They're gonna yearn for your voice. You know, they're gonna yearn to be back into your presence. So intimacy is definitely stronger than physical sex to me. So can you see the comment from YouTube?
I not from YouTube. I see. No, okay. I do see it from YouTube.
Okay. She said a healthy relationship is so much deeper than sex. Sex should be the cherry on the top. It should, of what the couple has already established on a spiritual healthy level. I agree. I definitely agree.
I agree as well.
So guys, this is finna be our last question for her. If you got any questions, get them in now, because after these questions, we are going to go ahead and close on out of the panel. I do want to say though, if you ever want to be a guest on my show, please inbox me, get with me so we can get you on the calendar to do a live. All my panels are dealing with anything with relationships, friendships, or just accountability. Anything that can empower. I'm a men and women's empowerment brand. So the goal is just to get us together, healthy individuals, accountability, especially in the Black community, but not solely for the Black community. So I don't want to cancel anybody else out. She said, what do the men say? Are you talking about as far as sex? If you're talking about as far as sex, I know, because I talk to a lot of men, especially dealing with my brand. Men love sex more than women. They do, even when they get older. But it's one of those things that, especially when they get older, they're so focused on fulfilling so many other things to where sex is not as important as it was when they were like 30 and younger. You know, sometimes maybe 35-ish and younger, maybe, you know. I think for men who literally don't have a partner, I think they are more thirsty for sex, and it's just literally because they don't have anybody there with them. So I feel like a lot of them do confuse sex with intimacy. So it's not really that they're wanting the sex like that, but they want the intimacy. But for men, they feel like sex is the intimacy. So if that makes sense, I don't know if that makes sense
It
to
makes
you
sense.
guys. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but yeah. And Keith said intimacy is definitely more important. It is, and yes, I enjoy sex too, but it's not the primary. It's it's not the primary thought. That's a YouTube comment. I think you said, I don't know if you can see that, but
I can see them. They
okay,
scrolling.
okay,
I
okay,
love
okay.
it. Keep them, yeah, keep the comments
Yeah,
coming. That means they're engaged in the conversation. I
yeah,
agree. And as we said, if a man is working 12, 13 hours a day, that's not going to be his primary focus. He needs somebody to have his back. He needs to know when he comes home because he worked late. That's what we say, depositing into your partner. Dinner is ready. He want to eat, watch TV, go to sleep. Like, there's different levels, as you say, or have a conversation about what you guys are going to do in the future. Are you going to invest in this property? Like, they are on different levels of things as they mature and get older. And that's something also as women we have to understand, because we need to be working on our maturity as well. Because I think sometimes we get stuck in the it's our turn, because now we understand our bodies in our 30s and we know what it is that we want sexually. So for us, sometimes I think sex may be more of a priority than it even is for them, because as you
yep.
said, they've already had so much sex.
Yeah, I think too with that, going back to your example with the working. So a guy, as guys get older too, a lot of them just they want the quickies. They do want that release still, they do want the sex,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of times it's just a quickie. All they need is some quick and get that release off and they good. So as a woman, if you want more, if you want him to wine and dine you, you want the foreplay and all this extra stuff. Sometimes if he's working those long hours, sometimes you may need to step your game up either with the hours or getting a better job or something that will make him be able to eliminate having to work all those hours. So then maybe he can have a little bit more time to put into foreplay or whatever it is, that you are wanting out the relationship. So as we are closing, thank you guys for participating. If you shared the live, thank you. I appreciate you. Don't forget to go follow Candi. Her links are in the caption. The rest of my platforms are in the captions as well. If you know anybody you would like to hear on the platform, I love having my men on here, definitely, because I feel like men don't speak a lot and they don't talk a lot. But when I have them on this platform, you guys are getting information that they probably would never even posted about on social media. So if you know some men that would like to get on here, please send them my way. And thank you guys for tuning in. So as she go ahead and answer this last question, if you guys don't have any more, then we will be ending the live. Well, it's not really a question. Can you just give the viewers any last words of wisdom?
I can. Take time to find out who your partners are. Spend date nights playing games. You can go on Pinterest and pull relationship questions. You can ask questions. Take a deeper dive into who the person is that you're dating. That makes all the difference in the world on how we communicate, how we grow together as we get older, because we will all change. What a person wants, what a person needs to fulfill their soul in that relationship. Because realize as we get older, most of us come to relationships from past relationships, right?
Yeah.
Especially as we're in our 30s,
Yeah.
and we're dating later, because we're not marrying as early as we used to. You already have you already have your thoughts and your concepts figured out of who you are. You got to take time to get to know that person and learn a little bit more about yourself. So spend more time just investing in each other, learning more about each other. Spend a date night in that intimacy. Lay in the bed and ask questions. Ask people about their dreams, about their fantasies, and role play. Like, those are all ways that we can work on intimacy and depositing all in one. And we in COVID-19 has made sure that we've all been stuck in the house together. I like to play games like
Yes.
charades,
Yes.
and we watch the game shows. So I'm like, okay, when we get back to game night, you gonna know what my comments are. Like, I say stuff, we do stuff that's only we know, that's inside stuff, so that we can kick other people's butt. Like, we
Yeah.
gotta find ways to partner together and do things that we like so that we can grow as a whole. And that's what we should be working on in relationships. How do we get better? How do we work together? Doing the work. As my girl Miss Von Zant says, we got to do the work.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how we learn how to deposit in our partners. We got to know who they are, and we got to know who we are as well.
Absolutely, I agree. I thank you for coming on to this panel. You gave a lot of wisdom out. Like I said, I don't know if y'all noticed, I was looking down, so I was taking notes myself for a lot of things. This platform, it's not only to help others learn, grow, and become a better them. It's also to help me. You know, I feel like we're talking about depositing into partners, but I thank you for coming on here because you deposited into me as your sister. You know, as a woman. So I thank you. I appreciate you to all my commenters, the viewers, those who commented, and those who, you know, stood off in the back watching. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Please always share the live. Please tag people in. If you would like, those that have been following me for a while, if you would like to bless the business conquering relationships, I do keep my cash app on here. It's in the caption as well. So I commented and said before we close out, yes, I'm still healing and learning to be content with myself before jumping into another relationship. No more situationships for me. So you see why you got to bring back situationship, right?
I'm gonna put in the
You got
email
to bring
right
it
now.
back.
Me and you, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna
Okay.
talk about it.
Okay, so y'all hold her to that. Y'all go follow her. Her link is in my caption. She said we're gonna talk about situationships, so y'all be on her. Keep inboxing her. Make sure y'all email her and tell her, yeah, we need this show, this situationship show to come back. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday, and I will see y'all on the next panel. I'm not too sure if the next one will be in April, but hit the notification button on the platform so anytime I go live personally or I'm on live with a guest, you guys will not miss when we are live.